Before we start, if stories like this pull you in, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. It wasn't my wife who gave it away. It was him. The guy with the smirk. The one who looked at me like he knew something I didn't. The party was louder than I expected. Music pulsed through the room, glasses clinked, people laughed too easily. Like everyone there had something to celebrate. It was my wife's company event, the kind where spouses show up, smile politely, and pretend they belong. I didn't. I stood near the bar, adjusting the cuff of my shirt, watching her across the room. She looked different, confident, relaxed, like this version of her existed somewhere I didn't have access to. She was laughing with a group of coworkers, one hand lightly touching a guy's arm as she spoke. I noticed it immediately, not because it was inappropriate but because it wasn't how she touched me anymore. At home everything felt distant. Short conversations. Late nights. Her phone always tilted away from me. But here, she looked alive. And I hated that I noticed. "Hey." The voice came from my left. I turned and saw him, mid-30s, sharp suit, that easy kind of confidence that feels rehearsed. He extended his hand. "You must be her husband." I nodded, shaking it. "Yeah." He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "I've heard a lot about you." Something about the way he said it made my stomach tighten. "Good things, I hope," I replied. He let out a quiet chuckle. "Depends on who you ask." That was the first moment something felt off. We made small talk for a minute. Work, the party, the usual surface-level conversation. But his eyes kept drifting past me back to her. Like I wasn't the main focus of this interaction. Like I was just part of the scenery. Then, out of nowhere, he leaned in slightly and asked, "So what's it like?" I frowned. "What do you mean?" He smirked. "Relying on someone who doesn't really belong to you anymore." For a second I thought I misheard him. The noise of the party faded into the background. "What?" I said, my voice lower now. But he just smiled wider, took a sip of his drink and shrugged. "Relax. Just making conversation." And then he walked away. Just like that. I stood there frozen, trying to process what had just happened. It didn't make sense. It couldn't. But the way he said it, it wasn't random. It wasn't a joke. It was deliberate. And suddenly every small doubt I had been pushing away came rushing back all at once. On the drive home I barely spoke. She noticed. "You okay?" she asked, glancing at me. "Yeah," I said. "Just tired." She nodded slowly, but I could feel her watching me. Waiting. Like she knew something was coming. But didn't know when. That night I couldn't sleep. His words kept replaying in my head. Someone who doesn't really belong to you anymore. It wasn't just what he said. It was how sure he sounded. Like it wasn't a guess. Like it was a fact. The next few days I started paying attention. Really paying attention. And once I did, I couldn't stop seeing it. The way she smiled at her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. The quick replies. The sudden silence when I walked into the room. The work emergencies that pulled her away at odd hours. I told myself I was overthinking. I wanted to be wrong. But deep down, I already knew. A week later I got my answer. She left her phone on the kitchen counter while she went to shower. I stared at it longer than I should have. Then it buzzed. A message preview lit up the screen. "Still thinking about that night. You looked incredible." No name. Just a number. But I didn't need a name. I already knew who it was. My hands felt cold as I unlocked the phone. I don't even remember deciding to do it. I just did. The messages went back months. Flirting at first. Then something more. Plans. Late-night conversations. Inside jokes. And then pictures. Not explicit, but intimate enough to tell a story I didn't want to read. And right there, in the middle of it all, was his name. The same man from the party. The one who smirked at me like I was a fool. I put the phone back exactly where it was. Sat down at the table. And waited. When she came out of the shower, she smiled at me. The same smile I had trusted for years. "Hey," she said softly. "Hey," I replied. My voice didn't sound like mine. I didn't confront her right away. Not because I was afraid, but because I needed to understand something first. How long she had been gone without me noticing. That night I finally asked, "Do you love me?" I said quietly. She looked surprised. Of course I do, she answered. Too quickly. Too easily. Then why does it feel like I'm the only one in this marriage? I asked. Her expression shifted. Just slightly. But enough. What are you talking about? She said. I held her gaze. Your coworker, I said. The one from the party. Silence. I saw the messages. That's when everything changed. She didn't deny it. Didn't get angry. Didn't even try to lie. She just sat down. Like the weight of it all had finally caught up to her. I didn't mean for it to happen, she whispered. They always say that. It just started, she continued. I felt disconnected. From you. From everything. And he made you feel something, I finished. She nodded, tears forming. And the worst part? I understood. Not the betrayal, but the feeling of distance. Of something slowly slipping away. I was going to end it, she said. I just didn't know how to tell you. I let out a quiet breath. You didn't tell me, I said. He did. She looked confused. I told her what he said to me at the party. Her face went pale. He shouldn't have said that, she whispered. I shook my head. No. He shouldn't have had anything to say at all. We sat there in silence. Two people who used to know each other now feeling like strangers. I don't want to lose you, she said finally. I looked at her. Really looked at her. And for the first time, I saw the truth. Not just in what she did, but in what we had become. You already did, I said. I didn't yell. I didn't break anything. I just let go. In the weeks that followed, we separated. Quietly. No drama. No scenes. Just distance. And the slow realization that some things don't come back. I still think about that night sometimes. That one question. That one smirk. It didn't just expose her. It exposed everything I refused to see. And maybe that's the hardest part. Not that she betrayed me, but that a stranger had to show me the truth.